Super Rugby Aotearoa, there's one game on Sunday. And that is the Chiefs hosting the Hurricanes. And suffice to say, these two teams have been pretty disappointing thus far, especially the Chiefs, with none from three losses to the Blues, Crusaders, and the Highlanders. So it's not been their time, but to be fair, they have had a lot of injuries, which just seems to be a thing that is par for the course with the Chiefs. If you're a Chiefs fan, you must be banging your head against the wall seeing all the guys get injured. But hey, there's been a few young guys kind of making an impression on the competition as well. For the Canes, they've still got kind of one game in hand on the Chiefs, so be good for them to get back into the swing of things and get off the board. And in recent times, apparently, from what I read, they've actually had the wood over the Chiefs. They've won the last four in a row. The last one was a tight one with the Canes getting a last-minute Geordie Barrett, what was past 80 minutes, penalty to make it 27-24, and that was in Hamilton. So psychologically, maybe you give the edge to the Hurricanes, but in terms of desperation, you would have to say it's with the Chiefs. The lineups: Aiden Ross, Bradley Slater, and Nepo Laulala are the front row for the Chiefs. It will be interesting to see if they can kind of really get on top of the Hurricanes pack. I think on paper you'd maybe have to give it to them, but you never know. The Hurricanes can surprise you. Mitch Brown and Naitoa. Yeah, it is Naitoa. Really small font and bad eyes. Naitoa Akoi, who has been really good. He's one of those youngsters I have talked about earlier. Just like he has come onto the scene. He's got mum on his scrum cap, which is pretty good of him as well. He's obviously doing it for his mum, and he certainly puts in a big shift. Boshia and Kane are 6 and 7, and you feel like they're, again, on paper, they should be able to really get in there in the breakdown and get stuck in. Gus Sowakula is at 8. Webb is at 9, and he's a guy who's really failed to spark since his efforts of last year, which got him to the World Cup as kind of the third choice 9. He was probably on form, maybe the best 9 in New Zealand for Super Rugby, but it's not been kind of going his way. Cruden's at 10. Interestingly, there's no ALB this week. He's, I think, being rested. So Tupaya, Manu are the midfield with Nana Saturo, Wainui, and Mackenzie at 15, which means there's still no spot for Sean Stevenson. I haven't seen that he's injured. He just seems to have been dropped. So Takiaho is on the bench, likewise O'Neill. Tahuri Orangi comes back onto the bench. Caleb Traska's there. And it's a home game for the Chiefs. It's an afternoon game. They haven't got the best record, so how the attendance goes will be an interesting one to watch. For the Hurricanes, Armstrong, Coles, and Lomax. Actually, that's a pretty good front row on its own. So that battle will be quite interesting. Blackwell and Scrafton. Neither of these teams have got kind of that one big name lock. They haven't got a white locker, Retallick, a Tuipulotu. Yeah, so I guess it's a chance for some of these guys to stand up. Like I mentioned, Akoi has been really good. Mitch Brown I thought was good last week. Blackwell thus far has been good. Scrafton I think's been dropping in and out from starting to bench, so good chance for him to impress. And I'm not all that sure Canes fans are sold on him yet since he's moved from the Blues, so yeah, another chance for him to do some work. Princep, Karifi, and Savia is at number 8. That's the back row. So Karifi and Savia up against Boshier and Kane. Should be pilfers galore, really, especially the way the breakdown is being reffed. Petanata and Garden Bishop, 9 and 10. Interestingly, still no Fletcher Smith. I thought the way things are going for the Canes, maybe he would at least make the bench. I haven't seen that he's injured, but I could be mistaken. But he's not in the 23 anywhere to be seen. Laumape and Umanga Jensen are 12 and 13, Fun Fake, and Lamb are the wingers, with Geordie Barrett being the big bit of news for the Canes. He's back, possibly to haunt the Chiefs again. We will have to wait and see. So, that's at least one bit of good news. Hussein is on the bench. Jamie Booth is there. Via Fafita, Fidel, May, Riccatelli. So, yeah, there's There's lots to like about both these sides. but only one of them can win it. You got to feel for whichever team loses it. If the Chiefs lose this one, I mean, are they already done? Maybe. The Crusaders are going to have to drop some serious points. Likewise, the Blues, but they've got each other next. So one of those sides is going to drop points next week. But it's about as must-win as it gets for the Chiefs this week. The Canes, again, they've still got that one game in hand, but you don't really want to be falling off the pace, because how many games can you realistically see the likes of the Crusaders losing? Yeah. The bookies have got the Chiefs by 4, and Rugby Forecast algorithm also has the Chiefs by 4. So, the games in Super Rugby Aotearoa thus far have been pretty close. So I guess if you were going to tip it, maybe tip it to be a close battle. But it's a risky one to have a flutter on if you are tempted. How do you guys think this one is going to go? Can you see the Hurricanes continuing their run over the Chiefs? Or do you think the Chiefs at home will be too strong? You guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.